hear from people all the time. Got to keep covering it, all right? It's estimated up to 30 million people may have symptoms that fall into some basket of the follow effects of this, okay? And 80% of them are having trouble doing everyday things. There's a new report that says long COVID may be the next public health disaster. Let's bring in someone who's studying exactly this. Doctor, scientist, medical director of the Angiogenesis Center, Dr. William Lee. Will, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining me again.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
All right, let's tick through some developments. One, Paxlovid. That's the pill you can take that's supposed to help with some of these more recent variants. People are afraid of it because they say you take it, it goes away, but then it comes back. New information. What is it?
Studies have actually shown that, in fact, even people who don't actually take Paxlovid have a certain amount of COVID rebound. In fact, about a third of people in a recent study. And so the blame isn't on Paxlovid. Paxlovid actually cuts down. It's one of the only antivirals that reduces the levels of virus in your body, and that's that level of virus that has the potential to cause organ damage that results in long COVID.
What's the new info on COVID and brain fog?
Well, the information is building up that, in fact, the infection by the coronavirus seems to activate and cause unusual signals in parts of the brain involved with cognition, the front of the brain, as well as the brainstem for balance. We also know that the circulation of the brain can suffer, and lab research actually shows that when you actually take nerve cells from the brain that normally connect together and you incubate them along with the coronavirus, the virus actually clips the connections between nerve cells. So although it's not really clear, these may be some of the clues to why some people have suffered brain fog.
Counterfactual. UCLA did a study, 1,000 people, and it showed that the effects that we call long COVID may be actually more mild from COVID than other viruses, flu, etc. Do you buy the study?
I think the study, what it really shows is that, in fact, maybe we've been underappreciating the fact that virus infections and other illnesses may wind up leading to symptoms that lead to long COVID-like symptoms. We know that Lyme disease does. We know that Epstein-Barr virus can. And in fact, flu also leads to long flu. So hopefully this renewed attention to the post-infection sequelae will give us clues to other illnesses in addition to COVID.
Post-infection sequelae. Sequelae is the Latin word that means what follows. The idea that this could be the next public health disaster, is that just hype then? Because maybe us recognizing that there are sequelae or following effects from viruses could be the next one, but would it be COVID specific if other viruses can give you just as bad an after effect?
This has to do with what we're really calling long COVID. The fatigue, brain fog are aggravating and can be disabling. But actually what we're starting to see now, and some of the premier studies are being done from the St. Louis VA Medical Center, they're actually looking at millions of patient records and finding that a year later, you have increased heart attack, increased stroke, increased heart failure, diabetes, even an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. That's not typical for a regular flu or infection or a cold. This is something unique to COVID.
So, absolutely. Dr. William Lee, thank you very much. And look, the message to you out there is if you're feeling these things, talk to your doctors, not necessarily just in your head. All right, that's all we have time for tonight. Dr. William Lee, thank you.